So, I'm sure by now, everybody that's here tuning in has probably seen the new marketing campaign. They've been running the commercials everywhere. They even showed them on the Grammys the other night. And you're probably wondering to yourself, there's 10,000 pairs, 23 stores. We're not getting these. The average consumer is not going to be able to get their hands on this 85 high Jordan 1 Bred. Why are they putting so much money into it, and why are they marketing it so hard if we're not going to get them? Well, personally, I think I know the answer to that question, and you're not going to like it.
Because this guy didn't want to pay a fine? What? Someone?
But as soon as I run you this intro, I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you all about exactly what's going on, this brand new BS with the Jordan 1 85 high Bred. So hold on, I'll be right back.
OG Trap Jordan, OG Trap Jordan, the other sneaker YouTubers, the hell are boring. OG Trap Jordan, OG Trap Jordan, I got sneakers, rated and pouring.
What up, YouTube? OG Trap Jordan, back with another one. And today we're talking about, yet again, the 85 high Jordan 1 Bred and the marketing that they're pushing on this product that most of us know, if we're realistic and not delusional, that we're not going to get our hands on if we're not willing to pay that heavy resale ticket. And we're wondering why. Just like I said the other day, they showed the commercial on the Grammys. It's really everywhere. It's on Sneakers app. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere. They're really pushing this product that we know we can't get our hands on. And a lot of us are wondering why. Well, me personally, I know exactly what they're doing. And I'm going to tell you what they're doing. So they're taking this shoe, this beloved classic shoe, the one that started it all, the Jordan 1 Bred, aka the banned one, and they're taking it and they're placing it back up here, back on top on a pedestal, where truly and honestly is exactly where it belongs. It belongs up here. This right here, this is actually the 2016 pair, but this is, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions, not just the one that started it all, but this is the king of sneakers. This is the one that really set off the whole culture. Yes, there was sneakers before. Yes, there's been a lot since. But this is the original. This is the OG. And if it wasn't for these shoes, just like you see on the commercial, the culture wouldn't be the same. And honestly, as far as it goes with releases of shoes like this, the OGs, and other ones that are yet to come in the 85 high form, we're never going to see it the way it has been again. I really truly believe that as far as ever seeing a shoe like this coming out in an OG form, we're never going to see it in a Super GR release again, because what Jordan Brand has done with the Jordan 1 is completely saturated. We could go on and on about that, but we all know what it is. Jordan 1s were everywhere for like the past 5 years, in high versions, mid versions, low versions, and they're still going to be around in a lot of mids, and they're still going to be around in a lot of lows. But the truth is, the way it used to be back in the day, it's never going to be like that again. Jordan Brand is going to make sure that this shoe right here sits back on the throne and reclaims its crown as king of the shoes. And that's exactly why they're marketing this so high, and they're going so hard on the marketing, because they want to reclaim that. They've oversaturated the one, and this shoe coming out, it's 40th anniversary of Jordan Brand, and it really is truly a special shoe. It really did set a lot of things off. I mean, there was a time back in the day in the 80s when those shoes were probably everywhere, and it was a big deal because Michael Jordan was a big deal and still is a big deal. A lot of people like to say stuff like, oh, these kids don't know anything about Michael Jordan. That's BS. They absolutely know who Michael Jordan is. Michael Jordan is not only the GOAT of basketball, but he's one of the greatest athletes that ever lived. He's right up there with like a Muhammad Ali and a Babe Ruth, and then you have Michael Jordan. He is just like the king of sports, and everybody knows who he is when you see his face, and everybody knows how great he was. But they want to try to act like, oh, these young kids don't know that.
Stop it. Get some help.
Well, they're gonna know that, and they're gonna understand that, and this marketing is just to remind you of that time. There was a time when you could get these shoes everywhere, but that time doesn't exist anymore. There was a time, you see people talking about how it was back in the day, how like Tony Hawk would even wear these, and his friends, when they would skate, they would wear Jordan 1s because they were easy to get, and they were a really good shoe to skate in, and they would go in and they would be in bins, and they'd be on sale for like $39, and they would buy them and they'd bust them up and they'd go buy more. Well, that time is over. This shoe has such a significance on the culture that they don't want to ruin it, and they're not going to ruin it. And believe it or not, even though it sucks that they're pushing this shoe so hard, but they're not letting any of us get it, there's a reason for it, and it actually does make sense. And the reason that it makes sense is because they're going to make sure that this shoe is always beloved, and it's not going to just go away and just blow away in the wind. And that's just the truth of it. And the truth is that they got oversaturated and they're bringing it back. And I really foresee in the future, anytime they come out with an OG version of this shoe, it's going to be real similar to this. When they come out with those Royals, it's going to be very similar. I don't know if it's going to be as limited, but it's going to be something like this. They're not going to just GR the shoe and have it completely played out. It's the be all of shoes. And you know what? I got a theory about this too. And I think that very soon they're going to do the same thing with the rest of the OGs. I think they're going to do it with the Chicago 1. And my theory before was that it'll probably be in the next year or two. I wouldn't even be surprised if they didn't come out with a Chicago 1 in the 85 high version. I'm not saying this is what's gonna happen, but what I'm saying is I wouldn't even be surprised if they didn't do it, like surprise us at the end of this year with that shoe. I mean, it sounds crazy, and I don't know that for a fact. It's just me speculating as a sneakerhead, as an OG who's been around. It would make sense. It's the 40th anniversary if they give us these OGs like this, but this is going to be the last time in a long time that we see these shoes. And to be honest with you, a lot of people are speculating about the resale of these, and people are thinking it's going to drop down around 500. And my size currently has dropped down to like 6 something. But I think that's because a lot of the people that are selling these, they're kind of panicking right now because they don't know what's going to happen when these drop. But the fact is, 10,000 pairs, 23 stores, and they're pushing it so hard. I think that the resale on these is going to be really ridiculous. And this is just my opinion and me speculating. I think that this shoe is going to have resale similar to like a Travis Scott, because in all honesty, it should. I know that's crazy, but if a Travis Scott, who is not even a basketball player, but he is somebody, and he's big, and he's important to the culture too, if his shoe sells for that, why wouldn't the OG not sell like that? And a lot of people are going to want to get their hands on these, not just sneakerheads, but even young kids now that are seeing this marketing, and even old school casual sneaker wearers that might have had them back in the day, or people that are just curious and seeing that commercial, because that commercial is super dope and they're really pushing this. And this marketing strategy is really, really smart. And I know it sucks that a lot of us aren't going to get our hands on them. And personally, I think that if you really want to get a Bred, maybe you should strike now on these 85s, or maybe you should even wait and see what happens. But maybe you might want to go back and get the 2016 pair. They're going for about 500 right now. The crazy thing about this marketing and what this is going to do is a lot of times when you have a shoe like this and they drop, when there's a coveted shoe and everybody's saying they want it, and then they super GR it, it diminishes the popularity and it diminishes the resale value. Even when you have a shoe that's like reselling for like $500-600 and then they GR it after people for years scream they want a new one, and then they sit on shelves, the old version even drops. And the fact is, with these, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I could even possibly see that these could come out and the resale could go up, and even the old version, the 2016, could even go up a little bit, because it's going to be a long time before we see a GR of these. If we see these GR again, it's going to be in a long time, and they might not ever super GR them. They might come out limited. Every time they come out, every 10, 15 years or whenever. I just don't think we're ever going to be living in a time where an OG version of this shoe is just going to be readily available in the public. And that is because they've diminished, they've oversaturated their product, and they're coming back to claim that throne. We already know that the stocks have dropped. We know that there's a lot of other shoe companies that are taking over, and this year is the 40th anniversary, and Nike and Jordan are not playing any games, and that's why they're doing this marketing like this. And a lot of people are mad, but you know what? I'm mad too, and a lot of you out there, you are mad, but you want them, don't you? Let's be honest. I want them, and I might even pay resale. I'm not going to pay $1,000, but if I can get them for less than $500, I'm probably going to shoot my shot. So that's basically what today is about. I'm just letting you know what I see and why they're pushing these shoes so hard, because this is the Jordan 1, Bred, the band, and the Chicago. Those are the king of shoes in the sneaker world, in my opinion. And people were saying that the Jordans are played out. One more thing I want to say before I get out of here is if you look at the slate for this year and even the shoes that are slated already to come out next year, we're not seeing a lot of Jordan 1s on the menu, or whatever you want to call it. So they're really pulling back on that. And I really do think they're going to give us a lot of these OGs, including these and then all these other OGs that are coming out. And I think they're going to start concentrating on OGs, but they're going to be more in the next couple of years, few far and in between. And I think we're going to see a lot less of these odd colorways that they just give us here and there, because they don't do well, and they were playing out the brand. And I think with this new CEO, he's coming in, he's laying down the law, and he's going to revamp the company, and that's what it's going to be. So in my personal opinion, I think that if you want one of these, right now might be the best time to strike. Well, people are trying to get them off for a little bit lower, but who knows? That's just my opinion. That's just what I see. And maybe go back and get the 2016 version if you can't afford the other version. And one more thing I want to add before I get up out of here is that these are actually loaded up on sneakers apps all over the world right now. They're just not loaded up in the US. And for all we know, who knows? Just speculating, they could end up dropping here on a shock drop in the US. I'm not saying I know that for a fact. I'm just saying you never know, things happen. And then one more thing I want to talk about before I get up out of here is the fact that there could be this could end up completely backfiring and blowing up in Jordan Brand's face. And then maybe, just maybe, if there's enough backlash from us, the community, maybe in the next year or two, they'll have to turn around and they'll have to completely GR this shoe and give us another chance. But we'll see what happens. All this is just me speculating, but this is my opinion, and I'm pretty good at this. I've been doing it for a while, so I pretty much can see this stuff coming a mile away. But if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you can get notified every time I drop one of these videos, and you can get some more of this good stuff in your life. And with that being said, I'm OG Trap Jordan, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
And greatness. Air Jordan.